Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Halifax Raiders Draft to Glory franchise mode here in NHL 24. And in last episode, we had kind of an episode I wasn't really expecting. I thought we were going to make the playoffs. I thought we were going to be a really good team this season. And somehow this team just didn't get off to a good start this season and ended up missing the playoffs and finishing like 15th best in the league, or not 15th best, 15th worst in the league, I guess. But it was kind of a weird season in that sense. Like I said early on, we did not win a lot of games, and that might have came back to play later in the season, because you could see like early on we found a few wins. Like we were kind of hovering around 500, like a win-loss type of ratio. Eventually we started losing way too many games, and then by like the end of the year we were pretty much like way out of a playoff spot at that point. But we did start to make a little bit of noise late in the season where we won a lot of games down the stretch, and that actually almost put us back into playoff contention, but we still missed by like 9 points. So it was kind of just like more hurting our chances of getting a good draft pick, so to speak. But we finished 42, 37, and 3. And yeah, we have missed the playoffs for the first time in a few years. And I'm hoping that we could obviously make it back next year, because this just was not a great season by any standard. Also, we did have a lot of players drop off in production, which was not a great sign to see, because obviously we need that scoring to be good if we want to be a good playoff team. But you can see like we had still some good production from our top type of guys, but we did get some huge drop offs from guys like Della Rovere and Pierre Zavala, who dropped down quite considerably. Also, Sherov has been on decline. He's down to a 78 overall. In last episode, I think he was like an 80 overall, but I just checked before this episode, and he's dropped down to a 78 depth forward. So our team is starting to lose that depth, which is not ideal. We also do have a lot of guys that are going to be pending free agents soon, like Vitaly Kolesnik, for example. He only has one more season left before he's a free agent. So we are kind of in a dire territory where we need to win a Stanley Cup, or else we're going to start suffering some big losses. And who really knows if this window is already closing on this team on winning a Stanley Cup. Like we have like another 10 seasons or so, I think, of this, but we definitely need to find a way to get this team to being a playoff team, and for a long time if possible, because or else, yeah, we're in a very bad spot at the moment. But anyways, before we get into the draft and off season, let's get to your guys' comments and see what you guys have to say about the really weird season that we just had. So the first comment is from Saturn Otaku, who says, didn't see that season coming. Definitely time to clean house with the coaching staff, and FPZ has to go too. So FPZ will stay here until his RFA status runs out, which I believe is another 3-4 years still. Let me see. Yeah, he's RFA this year. He's only 22. I think, yeah, he has like maybe 3 more years left of RFA status. So we're definitely going to be still holding on to him for that long. But yeah, the coaching staff, on the other hand, that's definitely something that I'm going to be looking at cleaning up with. It's not like it's a bad coaching staff on paper. It's just this team, for some reason, didn't really work well with these coaches. So we're going to probably get rid of all the NHL and AHL coaches as well, because the AHL coaches, I think, weren't even doing that well this year. Like I'm pretty sure the AHL team missed the playoffs too. So we might want to find ourselves like a full new coaching staff, both NHL, AHL, and then also probably find ourselves some new scouts as well, so we could have good drafts if we are to miss the playoffs again. The next comment is from Souls, who says, regarding offer sheets, I think if you have the cap space required, you should have to auto accept. If you don't, then you take compensation. That way you're incentivized about signing your good RFAs quickly. But if you're negotiating and someone offers sheets to something you can't accept, then you don't have to worry about buying players out. Just my 2 cents. And I agree with that. I think that would make a lot of sense, but it is going to be kind of annoying if we're going to have to auto accept an RFA for a ton of money, and then it's going to put us in a cap problem. But it might have to be that way. So we are going to probably do it that way, where we have to accept whatever offer sheets get thrown at us. But if we don't have the cap space, obviously, we could let those guys go, and we could get compensation at least for them. The next comment is from Michael Dose, who says, didn't see that coming, but I love when games are hard to win. If it was easy, then it's too boring. And I agree to an extent, but with this roster, I thought we should be a playoff team based on the fact, like, this team is very, not necessarily super stacked, but it is a very good team on roster. If we go to our forward depth chart, you can see like sorted by role here. We have a bunch of first liners, a bunch of second liners. Like, how did this team miss? It's basically an actual NHL team at this point. And then from a defensive standpoint, we even have an NHL defensive core, so to speak. Like, the only weakness was having Felipe Flood, so to speak. And our goaltending even is a good combination. So I don't really know why this team under-assimilated, but I'm hoping that obviously we could kind of just turn it around this upcoming year. Kind of, so to speak, break through the wall, kind of like the Kool-Aid Jammers man from from a friggin' Family Guy. That's what I picture, at least when I picture us breaking this wall.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
Oh yeah!
The next comment is from Captain Burnout, who says, wow, didn't see coming. Definitely time for a coaching change. Flood really didn't pan out the way we were hoping. This is a really weird season. I think EA cheesed you, and I think EA cheesed me as well. Because like even like Felipe Flood is technically a depth defenseman. It's not like he's not an NHL defender. We also have like McLaren and Wilson. So there is a lot of guys that are fighting for that top 6 spot that Paul Mayer has right now. But likely we are going to still hold on to Mayer this offseason if we can afford him. He is a little bit low on morale right now. I was looking because of the fact that he was scratched for the entire season. But if we turn injuries on next season, then he should get into the lineup because more than likely we'll have at least one defensive injury. The next comment is from Friendly Ewok, who says, I don't know if you noticed, but Sea-Doo has officially jumped to low franchise, and I did notice that at the end of last episode. It's kind of weird that he jumped to a low franchise. I don't know why he jumped to a low franchise because he's still got a top 4 role, so it's a little bit weird, but at least he is still signed here for 5 more seasons, so we don't have to worry too much. He's probably going to change eventually back to like an exact elite or something like that, but still kind of cool. The next comment is from Ian.NoLove, who says, man, we need to forget the season. I'd probably fire all coaches, all of them completely. On the day of free agency, hopefully you could reach for a good A-B coaching staff all around. Those players who have no growth at all should definitely go, since the AHL team will never be able to clinch in playoffs. Hopefully the good draft is ahead. Show these draft skills, Snipe, and trust me, fire B scouts already. We need to see this team going. So yeah, we're going to replace the scouts also this offseason. So there's going to be a lot of changes to our our staff, so to speak, which is going to be really interesting. The next comment is from Dustin Mald, who says, get rid of all the coaches, all of them, because low coaching chemistry leads to bad results, and trying to find a balanced head coach with a defensive associate and maybe a generalist assistant, mixing it up a bit. And yeah, that's maybe what we'll try and do if I could remember. And finally, the last comment is from Logan May, who says, leave the staff alone. Team played well after you changed the coach. Maybe try making line 2 more offensive and send your two-way guys to the third line. Happens, bud. Well, I don't think it makes total sense to play players completely out of the role. That's the only thing. So I don't really think I want to play like the two-way forwards on the third line. Also, their production probably drops off a cliff if I do stuff like that. So I think the coaching change is the way to go. Obviously, we could bring back some of the coaches that we still have, but we are going to try at least and see if there's better options out there for the team. So let's go to our coaching staff right now. Can I fire them all right now? I don't know if I can. Let me see. Because I never had an empty coaching staff before. But since it's the off season, we should be allowed to just completely fire everybody here. And we should be able to continue assimilating, right? Let's see. Come on, it's the off season, right? Okay, you're going to let me do that. Perfect. Okay, we have no coaches whatsoever, which is really weird. We are also going to go to our scouts here and let go of all the scouts that have B ratings, I think. Actually, maybe I'll leave it for now until we see actually the scouting pool of what's available for scouts, and then we could actually fire scouts in those areas if there's areas that are the B scouts. So we'll leave the scouts for now, but the coaching staff completely empty, and we'll look and see if we could find some new ones in this offseason. So, okay, so there is that, and let's get into this draft, I guess, since that is our first order of business. I have no idea how good this draft is going to be really for us, but hopefully we can add some prospects that actually develop for us down the road. We're drafting at 15th overall because we didn't move up in the lottery, which kind of sucks in a sense, but hopefully we can get ourselves to like a top 6 forward, a top 4 defenseman that could help us out in the long run. So anyways, Columbus at 1, what are they going to take? Peltier, 81 overall sniper. Let's see him. Isaac Peltier looking pretty solid. Good shooting categories. Yeah, this guy's going to be a pretty good player for the Blue Jackets. Very small dude, though. 5'9", 160. That might be the smallest generated guy I've seen. Like, not height-wise, but, like, in terms of weight. This guy has, like, no weight. But he is decent physically, which is kind of interesting. So there we go. Calgary at 2 is going to take Savret, who is a playmaker, 5'11", 179, so a little bit bigger of a guy. Yeah, really good passing categories. Like, if these two played on a line together, they would be definitely setting each other up quite well. Seattle at 3 is going to take Nicholas Merrick's, who's a two-way forward, looks pretty balanced, good face-offs as well. Maybe a guy that you see up there for the Selke down the road. San Jose at 4 will take Simon or Simone, one of the two, probably Alex Simon based on the name. He's also a two-way forward, looks pretty balanced. Once again, another good face-off guy, so might be up there as well for a Selke. And finally, the Florida Panthers will take Whitmore, a medium elite offensive defenseman. Of course, when we do not have a super high up pick, there's a medium elite offensive defenseman. This is something we still kind of need. A lot of you guys were saying that we need a puck moving defenseman, and Chris Whitmore could have been that type of guy, but we didn't move up in the draft lottery, so that kind of sucks. But it is what it is. Hopefully we could still find ourselves an offensive defenseman at our pick. Let's sim to our pick at 15 and see what we could get here. Oh man, we just missed out a medium elite two-way forward in Nystrom. Looks like a solid draft here in the early stages in terms of overall ratings. Like, you have guys that are 78s as like top 4s and top 6s. So yeah, this might be actually a pretty good draft class. We do have Fragapane pinned, who might be an offensive defenseman. I'm thinking of taking him. He is listed as 2 years out as well, so he might have a good starting overall. There's also Sterling, but he's 3-year ETA. Crowder, who I pinned to, is 3 years out. And then Dinger, who is 3 years out. I think we got to go for Fragapane being 2 years out here. Because if he is an offensive defenseman like he might be, he honestly could be a two-way though, but if he's an offensive defenseman, that's exactly something we need. So, Caden Fragapane, let's see how good you are. Please be an offensive defenseman. And he's not. He's a 67 overall two-way. That's not bad still. I will definitely take that. Hopefully he's somebody that could develop into being like a top 6/top 4 for us. I like that. It's not a bad pick. It still sucks that he's not an offensive defenseman though, because like I said, that's something we drastically need. But we just never find it at our picks, which kind of sucks. Let's see the next picks after our pick. Oh my goodness. Oh boy. Sterling was a medium elite DFD. Well, that is a slap in the face. Oh boy, okay. Well, Washington's getting a free medium elite defenseman, okay. High top 60, okay, that's fine that we missed out on that guy. Yeah, it was pretty much only that dude. Crowder's decent, but let's sim to our pick at 48, see if we could find anything else in this draft, or is it just going to fall off a cliff? Let's see, Beaufait looks pretty solid, might be a top 6 forward. I'll pin him for now. Duke Hancock, what a name. No weakness. Also looking like a top 6. Don't think he's medium elite. Let's see what else we got here. Burkhoff. Oh yeah, he's the highest rated goaltender in the draft, I think. He should be medium elite based on the fact he's going in the second round. But do I want another goalie? Maybe. Just to play it safe. He is 19 years old already. But no weakness. Probably is a decent overall. Do we take Burkhoff? I feel like I might want to take the goalie, to be honest. Because he is the highest rated goalie in this draft. There was no goalies that should have won in the first round. So it's either between him or these guys. And right now I would be leaning towards Beaufait more. Beaufait is 17. Does have no weakness as well. Probably a playmaker. Yeah, he's guaranteed to be a playmaker. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely not going to be Hancock because Hancock looks worse than Beaufait. So it's between Beaufait and Burkhoff, I think. We did also pin Michelli, who is supposed to go later. He's also guaranteed to be a medium elite goalie. There is also a low elite sniper here that we can get in the later rounds. This is a tough call. I do like the looks of Beaufait, but I don't know. He could be a low top 6, which is not ideal. We're going to go for the goaltender. I know we don't really technically need more goalies, but I'm hoping that this guy is a very high overall of a goalie or a high potential goalie that we could develop and that could actually play good in the playoffs. So, Mateo Burkhoff, welcome aboard. 61 overall, medium elite. That's pretty solid. That's pretty solid for a 19-year-old. And he's pretty balanced. Hopefully he develops into being a good goaltender for us. Let's take a look at that other guy we were looking at. Beaufait was only a medium 9. That's why I didn't take a chance on Beaufait. I mean, he's still going to be a decent player, it looks like. But, yeah, medium top 9 only. We were thinking he could be a medium elite, but he's only a medium 9. So I don't mind that we took the goaltender. Let's see if we can find anything else good in this draft before we get to our low lead stage. I don't know if I'll take this other medium league goalie. I might, just for the value wise. Not that we make trades in this series anyways, but Manuel Picard might be interesting, might be 2 years out. Do I take a chance with Picard? He might be a low 6 though. There's also a medium 9 grinder, which we don't really need. Let's take a chance with Picard here. See how good he is. Medium 9 playmaker. Damn, man. Not the best, but still might become a good AHL player. Never know. Our next pick here, what could we get? Yeah, this draft class isn't really the strongest. There is still that goalie on the board, that medium league gem. So I think I'm probably going to go for the medium league gem goalie right now. And then we'll probably, I don't know what we'll take with some of our other picks, but we'll definitely try and grab those low leads. We should be able to grab them. But welcome aboard, other medium league goalie, 47 overall. So there is McSally. So we have 2 more medium league goalie prospects to hopefully develop, just in case our current goaltending tandem doesn't work out too long term. Our next pick in round 5. You still have, I guess we could pick the other guys in the last 2 rounds. So we'll probably end up taking somebody random here at this point. This guy might be an offensive defenseman, probably low potential though. 4 years out is intriguing though. Yeah, let's take a chance on Gaspar Renault from Ruyen Noranda. Low top 6. 2-way defenseman. Not great. Not great at all. Yeah, this class is probably one of the worst ones again. And our final 2 picks, we'll take the 2 low elites. We'll take the guy that's actually supposed to go drafted first. So Vic Habscheid, he's 19 years old. He's a sniper. And he's a 54 overall. That's pretty good. That's pretty solid. I mean, he is 19, but still, if he develops like fast enough like some of the low elites we've been drafting, that's a solid pick right there. And our last pick of the draft, we'll draft the other low elite that's supposed to go undrafted. He's probably going to be really low overall, but Bear White, what a name. The fact that he's 20 years old already is not ideal though, but might as well take him anyways, since he is lowly for sure. 55 overall playmaker. This guy was supposed to go undrafted, and we have gotten ourselves maybe a future playmaker that could end up like Sharov or something like that. But he is 20, so by the end of his 3 years of status, we aren't going to sign him probably right away. He'll be 23 by then. I don't know if this guy's going to be really much of an NHLer, but he might give us more depth, which is at least good. So there is our draft. I would say an okay draft for the most part. Fragapane's decent enough. Then Burkhoff is a pretty good goalie prospect. Same with Maselli. Picard's not a super good pick. Renault's not great. And then Habscheid and White are solid. So it was an okay draft. I don't like that in round 1, though, that we missed out on that medium elite defenseman because I decided to take Fragapane. But I would rather probably grab more 2-ways than DFDs in a sense right now, because we do still have our good DFDs at the moment. But the fact that we might lose Kolesnik soon is not ideal, because we definitely need more DFDs at some point. Okay, let's re-sign these scouts for now, unless they're B-rated. Actually, we'll re-sign them regardless, and then we'll look at the scouts out there and see if we need to get rid of some of these B-rated scouts, if there's actually good scouts out there in all the regions. So we'll scout out, or take all these guys in for now. There you go, perfect. And then let's get to our contract situation. So this is where it's going to get interesting. I don't know how much cap space we got. $21 million. Oof. That's not a lot of money, man. It's not a lot. We are going to have to we're going to have to qualify a lot of our RFAs here. Let me go to the UFA list first, though. Bursch needs his ELC because he's a low elite, so he'll get one. The 7th D, not going to get a contract. Paco is a medium elite, so he's going to get his ELC. We are also probably going to let go of a couple of veteran guys like Wolniski. I want to kind of hold on to Watton because I know he's a leader down there in the AHL. So let's hold on to him for 1 more year just because the AHL team needs him. He's maybe their captain. I don't really know. And then Metterman and Mayer I'll just wait on for now. I can't sign Harrison. I don't have the goalie space, I'm pretty sure. So unfortunately, he will not be joining our team. But we honestly don't have the room really for him at the moment anyways. So yeah, Harrison is going to be gone. which kind of sucks. He didn't really develop anyways. Let's see what we got here. We will send go of a contract for the AHL. That's good. These other AHL defenders we'll give 1-year deals to, not 2 years, because I want these guys to go to the free agent market at some point. Oh boy, McLaren wants a one-way deal again. That's problematic. I'm gonna wait on him for now, I guess. Rizzy, though, it needs to get a contract. He might get qualified because $6 million is a lot. He is gonna be very close to being a UFA though, which is not ideal. Yeah, we'll send him a 1-year deal. Wait, yeah, if I qualify him, actually it's less. Yeah, let's just qualify him for the $3 million that he made last year. Mark Ward, we'll do the 1-year deal. And then we have our other RFAs. McGinn, 1-year deal for you. Kozlov, 1-year deal for you. And then we have our NHLers in Mason and Pierre Zabottle. Mason only wants 1.7. He's going to get it because he's just a 4th-line option. But Pierre Zabottle wanting a 6 by 6.9 isn't terrible. I know you guys don't really like the guy, though. So we're probably just going to end up qualifying him, because I can't obviously commit to him long term. So we'll do a qualifying offer on him and Rizzy, and hopefully they accept, because I don't want to get to the territory where they're getting taken by other teams, because that will hurt our chances even more. Let's advance today and see if we get these guys signed in. Okay, so it looks like we got everybody that we wanted to. McLaren we still need to think about, and then we also have Petterman and Mayer still to think about. We are at 48 out of 50 contracts, so we're pretty tight on our contract space. Mayer wants over $3 million. Petterman wants 1.9. I honestly might leave these guys for now, or Petterman especially. Mayer is important, I think, for the top 6 still, but he doesn't want an extension, so I might honestly have to let him go and let McLaren play on the top 6 instead. I think that's what I'm going to do, is let go of Paul Mayer. And, yeah, we might be able to bring him back at some point, but right now I don't think I'm going to bring him back. I might want to hold on to Petterman as a depth option, no. I know it makes our defensive core worse by letting go of Mayer, but I think it makes sense for our team at this stage, just to see if we could change things up a bit. 1.8. Let's do it. Let's hold on to Petterman as a depth option, because we are going to probably turn injuries on, as long as I remember this time around. McLaren on a 1-year deal. Let's see if I can get him for 1.3. And advance the day, see if I get both of them signed up. After these scouts accept. Let's see. Petterman rejected, McLaren accepted. Okay, so we have $20 million in cap space. Let's try and get Petterman again. 1.9 for 1 year. And he rejected as well. Too much players competing for that spot. Okay, so Petterman's going to be gone for now. But if these guys are free agents still, like, in a month, then we could bring them back, potentially. So I'm going to write down Petterman, because or else that does make our depth worse, for sure. So Petterman, and then we also got Paul Mayer on defense. Okay, that's good. Let's go to our phase here and see what these guys are still asking for. Same thing. Yeah, those guys will hold out for now, but they're going to get signed in a little bit. So let's advance to free agency. Sucks to let Paul Mayer and whatnot go, but I think we need to do that for now. And like I said, we could potentially bring them back. Okay, coaching staff. This is now where the important stuff comes, and then we'll look at our scouting stuff. We have a lot of work to still do in this episode, so I apologize if this episode runs really long. Okay, head coaches. What do we got? What do we got for stuff that could help us out? This guy looks like a really good coach. Let me just take a look still at what, who is it that said something? I opened Photoshop accidentally on my computer, god damn it. Give me a second. I have to close this thing, because I don't want Photoshop running in the background, because I feel like it would just make my computer a little bit lag, and this video will lag, so I don't want that to happen. It probably wouldn't, but still, don't need Photoshop open. Okay, now I want to get to what that one comment was saying. Try and find a balanced coach. Let me just write this down. Balanced coach and a defensive associate And we also need a generalist assistant. Okay, so a balanced coach. Okay, let's see. So this guy is a balanced coach, which is good. 63%. Do we have anybody better? There is our old head coach who's there at a 67. Jeez. 66. But he was our head coach balanced before? He was. Okay. This guy's balanced in the 67 as well. Yeah, this guy might be better. He's a little bit younger, I think, right? You know, he's the same age. A little bit worse in terms of overall. What about his ratings? Not terrible. Maybe this guy will be our head coach, this Tarnowski guy. That way we at least have a new head coach. He's never coached the NHL before, which is interesting. Anybody else there? 68 for Cristiano Esch, but he is an offensive coach, which we're not really trying to look for one of those. 67 on this guy who's balanced as well, Peter Callis. I don't like him as much. He's an associate. Yeah, I think we're going to offer a contract to Tarnowski as our head coach. We'll give him a little bit more money. Not that any team's interested in him at the moment. So let's go with that. See if he'll accept that. He might be our head coach. So that is one coach knocked out. Then we need a defensive associate coach. So let's go to NHL associate coach. See if there's any defensive ones, which there is Persinger, I just saw. Doesn't have the best penalty kill though. But how is the fit? 66%. What else we got for associates? 61, 66 on Packard. Packard's a little bit better special teams wise. Yeah, I like Packard a little bit better. So I think Packard is going to be our associate coach. So we'll see if we could get him to sign here as our associate. I don't remember who was our old coaching staff. So if I bring anybody back accidentally, it's okay, I guess. And then our generalist assistant. Let's see what we got for generalist assistants here. Not the best assistant, guys. We might have to just find a coach that we can make our assistant that's a generalist. So let's see, what do we got? This guy's supposed to be an associate, but we can make him an assistant. 58%. Let me just go to the top of this list again here and look at all the generalists. We could always try and get this 63% guy as an assistant, but Yeah, we're looking for a generalist. Where are you, generalists? Alright, is balanced generalist? Yeah, balanced is generalist. Okay. I am very confused at some things. Or maybe not. Let's see. 57 on Lassard. What about Lovejoy? 60%. There's our old head coach again. Try and think on what we want here. 56. Shing time, 60%. Rogalski, 61%. That's not terrible. Kalus again. Hey, Kalus is an associate or an assistant would be good. Yeah, let's meet in Kalus as an assistant. Why not? Toronto's also interested in him, so I'm going to jack up the price a little bit. Because Toronto, he might want to go to a big market team. So, there you go. So those are going to be our NHL coaching staff. We also do need a goalie coach, but I'll wait till the start of the season because I think you could still find those. Maybe. And maybe I'll actually find somebody here. Is there just goalies in this teaching area? I don't remember always. Let's see. And then I might just let the AI decide on the AHL coaching staff. We'll see. Is there a goalie tab on this one? I don't remember always. Let's see. Holy crap, there's so much coaches, man. Oh, there's some goalie coaches. Let's go. Okay, do we have anybody with good teaching? A plus on this guy who's only 51. So, Dominic Tadicek, you are going to be our NHL goalie coach. Enjoy the time here, man, and hopefully you can teach our goalies. And then, yeah, we'll rate on the AHL ones for now because the AHL isn't as important. It's important, but not at the moment. I also should look at the scouts too. I forgot about that. So let's go to the scouts. We offered our coaches the jobs. Now is to see if there's any good rated scouts in the areas we have Bs. So let me write down the areas we have Bs in. I know I'm always an old school person writing stuff on paper, but that's the way I do things. So we'll write USA Central times 2. We have USA East. We have Russia. USA East actually times 2. We have Russia times 2. We also have SHL, WHL, Extraliga, NLA, OHL. Damn, there's so much scouts here. The DEL. I feel like we've written down every league at this point. Liga. And that's it. Okay. So let's take a look at the scouting pool and see if there's anybody good in terms of rating. There's not a whole lot better. Do we have any B- scouts though? Like, let's look at our scouting pool again. Nobody below a B. So we technically don't need to hire much. There's only one A scout out there. And that is McGinnis. So McGinnis will probably be signed. But nobody else will be. Do we have a scouting spot available? We do. So we could just sign this guy and put him in a random league. So we'll sign the A-rated scout. But we don't need to get rid of any of our scouts because there's not anybody else that's better out there. Because everybody else is also in the B range. So there is not a lot of good scouts out there, which is okay. Helps us save a little bit of time in this episode. So okay, so now that that is done with, let's see if those coaches accept. That is the main thing. I'm hoping those coaches accept. Obviously, we still have our RFAs that need contracts, but the coaching staff is important. So Packard is in as the NHL associate coach. That's good to see. But the head coach is the most important one, obviously. Kalus is accepted as the assistant coach, so we got a couple guys there. We got some scouts, or we got the scout, I think. I think that was a good scout. Tarnowski is accepted as the head coach of your Halifax Raiders, so there we go. That's actually good. And the goalie coach is also accepted. Okay, so we got our NHL coaching staff set up, which is nice. Let's maybe look at the AHL as well, because I didn't really want to look at AHL coaches and stuff, but I feel like it might be better for us to do this by ourselves. So let's see if there's anybody that works well for the AHL team. We'll probably look for a generalist as the head coach. Ooh, 33%. Jeez, man. Right now it's tough to tell, I guess, based on what our AHL roster is like. Jamie Benn is an AHL head coach. No, thank you. Trying to think of what we want here. There's a couple 36s. Ooh, this guy works really good with Markord. Not that Markord's important. But this guy looks like he would be the best potentially. So, Biedrick Hayduk, you are going to be our AHL head coach. I technically could sign good coaches as AHL head coaches, but we'll get him in. Why not? What's his teaching like? It's not terrible. It's not terrible. Let's find some other guys as well. We could actually just sign all these guys as like associates and stuff too, probably. Like this guy could be our goalie coach. There is Belleville also interested, but we'll try and get this guy to be our AHL goalie coach. I'm just trying to get as much good coaches down there as possible. And then we also have you on 36%, so may as well make you an associate. Adela Kundratic. Not that you look like you're from the Czech Republic, but still. And then Novotny. Let's see, Novotny. Jakub Novotny, who's Asian apparently. Makes no sense. That's funny. Because Novotny is a friggin' like Czech name. Or a Slovak name. I think it's a Czech name now. But there we go. Let's get those guys all in as our coaches. I don't know if they're going to work well with our team specifically. But might as well bring in a bunch of coaches and hope that they work. If they don't, we could always change it up a bit AHL-wise. Okay. So let me take a look at free agents and see how Paul Mayer is doing in terms of his contract. Did he get a contract already? Probably not. But you never know. Let's see. Paul Mayer, are you still a free agent? Yes, you are. We have the money. We have the money, probably. You know what? We're going to try and bring back Paul Mayer. I know I said I was going to let him go, but I am going to try and bring him back again just because I feel like he would be probably better as the top 6 defenseman, but that way we have a little bit more depth just in case. For one more year, he might honestly leave. And then Petterman probably will still be a free agent, my guess, near the start of the season. We'll check at like August 1st if he's still there. because we could use him in as a depth forward if we run into any injury problems. So let's simulate an entire month and see if any of our RFAs actually start accepting or get qualifying offers from other teams, which hopefully is not the case, because I do not like when that happens. Duke Eastwood is accepted. Good. Adela Kondratic does not want to come here, apparently, but that sucks. Novotny's accepted. So we got most of our coaches in the AHL. And Paul Mayer has decided to come back to Halifax for another year. It's funny that he lost morale because of anxiety to come here. Pierre Zabal has accepted. I spent some time mulling over your qualifying offer. I am willing to devote another year of my career to this franchise. I'm very happy to be back. Well, at least he's very happy to be back. But is he going to perform this year? Who really knows? Who really knows? So that means the only holdout at the moment is Rizzy, I think. We have 13 million in cap space. So how much did Pierre Zabal get? 6.15 like last year. Okay. I'm okay to keep on giving him the 1 year at 6.15, but I don't want to give him term yet, because once we give him term, it's kind of screwing us in a sense. Like, I'd rather keep somebody like Ahinen, you know. And you can see that we have some really big contracts up for renewal in terms of next offseason. Like, next offseason, we're going to have to make some tough decisions. Kolesnik, Stajan, Pierre Zabottle. There's also like Sharov, but I don't think Sharov's going to want to get paid as much. Let's see. Rizzy. I guess I'll just give you what you're asking for at this point. I know you could probably drop your asking price, but at this point, we have the cap space. Might as well just give you the money. There you go. Rizzy has accepted as well, which means we'll take a look in a little bit to see if Petterman's still a free agent, because I think him being only a 78, not a lot of teams will be intrigued in him, but you never know. Let's see. Left wingers. Is he still there? Or did he sign somewhere? Please didn't sign anywhere. Please. He might have signed somewhere. I think he did. Which is not great, because that doesn't give us a depth forward. At least one that I would like to use. Yeah, I think he did sign somewhere. I'm going to have to take a look at the player search function right now. That sucks, man. I waited a little bit too long. I think he must have signed somewhere on an AHL deal, my guess. Let's see. So, Petter. I think it was spelled like that, and with 2 N's instead of the 2 T's, if I remember right. Yes, he signed with the Toronto Maple Leafs on a 1-year deal at 1.7. Well, that kind of sucks. That kind of sucks. He's in our division. Probably not going to get much playing time in Toronto. But we do lose on Petterman for this year. He could easily come back in a future year. But right now, he is gone. Which really sucks, but oh well. He doesn't really do much for our team anyways. But still sucks to lose him anyways. Okay. What is our chemistry and our lines going to look like? I'm hoping our chemistry looks good still with the new coaches. And I'm hoping that our team looks pretty good as well. Okay. Looking pretty good 5-on-5 rise right now, but let me first go to roster moves and see if there's anybody that we need to send down or call up. So, goalie-wise, Sonnenberg, Nornen, pretty good. We have Gove and Solis, who are pretty good. Gove is actually getting close to NHL already, which is really good. Nikitin's very close to be leaving this team. Defensively, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 means Wilson and Flood would get sent down, but if we turn on injuries, we need to have at least one defenseman on our team. So, the question to you guys, when we turn on injuries, because likely we will, who becomes our depth defenseman? We have Eric Wilson, who's never played an NHL game. Looks like this. He's a DFD, which is pretty solid. 7th round pick. We have Felipe Flood, who's the low elite that's not really panning out. He's more two-way oriented. He's former 6th round pick. And we also have Daniel McLaren, who is a two-way defenseman, former 3rd round pick, more defensively minded. So, I'll leave that up to you guys on who should be our 7th defenseman if we turn on injuries, which I think we should. Right wing wise, what do we got? Anybody to call up? No, we do not. That's okay. Left wing wise, we got 3 there. Anybody to call up? Maybe Haken. Haken is getting close. That's interesting. And then center wise, only Kozlov, really. So if we are going to have injuries on, Kozlov and Haken could be depth options. Haken, I believe, is only 22. Yeah. I don't know if I want to stunt their growth as a thing. So we might leave them into the AHL for now, because I don't think... Yeah, Haken doesn't go through waivers. So we could easily just call him up and send him down. Kozlov does go through waivers, but I don't think he would get claimed. And then McLaren goes through waivers. What about the other defenders? Wilson and Flood both do as well. For now, we'll keep both Wilson and Flood up here just because I want your guys' opinions first. But let's go to edit lines here and see what we're working with in terms of our lineup. Who else is scratched, or is there anybody else scratched? Nope, it's just the two defenders. Okay. So what we're going to run with is the same lines pretty much as last year, I think, at the beginning, which might be a risk. But we are probably going to go with something along the lines of... something along the lines of that, I think, is what we'll go with. Yeah, I think that's what we'd go with. So, Stajan, Wilm, Ahinen, actually, Stajan, Ahinen, Wilm, I should say. Del Rivera, Pirzabottle, Lehman, Weber, Sherov, Vlasic, and Sergeyev, Mason, and Mathieu. Defensively, Sidhu Kolsnik looks pretty good. Actually, this coach looks really solid. Boys, Dimitra, Mayer, Rizzi. Yeah, we have like no minuses, which is good. Yeah, our defensive core might be the best it's looked on paper. Sonnenberg and Norinen. Yeah, looks pretty good. And in special teams, how does this coach look? +5 on the first unit, which is good. Even 0 on the second unit. That's much better than the minuses we've had in the past. -3 still on this 4-man unit. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. We could always readjust our power play lines a bit if you guys have any suggestions. Even though I know Ian, you were still like saying, hey, I don't know if I liked my suggestions before. The penalty kill looks good too. Yeah, except for this third unit. I don't mind it. Good chemistry looks like. What about the AHL's chemistry? What is it looking like? Pretty even, which is better than negatives. We are going to have to readjust our lineup here as well. I'll probably do that after I finish this video because it's kind of pointless to do it right now. But we will probably get Pecker, Solis, Paco back in, Vance and LaBarbera maybe as well for some of the older guys. And yeah, chemistry is actually decent, so we might have a better chance considering we have a new coach this year. Let's go stop that, and let's take a look at the coaching staff chemistry stuff right now. So Tarnasky, what is his fit? 63. So he is a little bit worse than our old coach, but I think he works better with Paul Mayer if I remember right. So he actually, in a way, he's a bit of a better coach because he works better with everybody else on the team. Then we have Jose Packard as the assistant or associate. We have Peter Callis as the assistant, and then the goalie coach. We have our AHL coach. Let's see how he fits the team. 59%, not terrible, but not great either. So that's all good and good to go. We did just hire this coach, our scout, so I am going to change his region to, let's see, maybe the SHL, because the SHL usually has a lot of good prospects, so we'll send him over to Sweden because we want to send him to a region that actually gets a lot of good prospects. So we'll put him in the SHL, I think. There we go, SHL for you. That way we can get a little bit more on the Swedish league. So there you go, that's all set up and ready to go. Final few things I wanted to take a look at was our contract situation again. And also, I wanted to take a look at the draft class briefly. So, yeah, Kolsnik being up for renewal is kind of scary. Ooh, yeah, we are gonna be in a really bad spot soon. Because Kolsnik, if we want to bring him back, he wants over 10 million bucks, which is not great. Stajan, oh my goodness. There's a good chance we're going to lose somebody crucial this offseason. Whew. Stajan wants to get paid, not a surprise though. And then we have Pirzabal, who's just going to get qualified. Same with Rizzi probably. But between these two, we might have to make a decision on one of them leaving. And honestly, the better option, I would guess, would be Stajan because we need more defensemen. But I don't know. I don't really know. I would love to keep Stajan because he's been very good. What is Sherov wanting out of curiosity? Is he wanting less than 2 million now? He is. Okay, he might retire very young, but the good thing for us is Sherov is never going to want to get paid, so we could even give him another 8-year deal if we wanted to, but he'll probably be trash by then, so we got to think on that. So there's a contract situation. I also did want to take a look at the draft class briefly, but not that it matters because we want to make the playoffs this year. We want to win the Stanley Cup. But this draft has a lot of defensemen early on and a lot of wingers, it looks like. Is that Ilya Brzgalov? Igor, damn. I was hoping it would be Ilya. So that is that. And that's going to do it, guys, for this episode of our Halifax Raiders Draft to Glory franchise mode. So in next episode, we will simulate the 2034-35 season. We'll hope to make it back to the playoffs with this new coaching staff. And hopefully this team is good enough to win a Stanley Cup this year. Because like I said, this offseason coming, we might end up losing somebody like Stajan or Kolesnik. And that could be pretty detrimental to this team being a playoff team. So let me know what you guys think down below. And I'll see you guys next time.